The United States Senate consists of 100 members, with 2 members apiece representing each of the 50 states. 1. The House of Representatives has 435 voting members. 1. As for the documents used in the Senate and the House of Representatives, one key document to know is the Constitution of the United States, 1787, which is the fundamental laws and principles that govern the United States. The Congressional Documents collection consists of House documents, Senate documents, and Senate treaty documents. House and Senate documents contain various kinds of materials ordered to be printed by both chambers of Congress. Documents can include reports of executive departments and agencies, as well as committee prints that were ordered to be printed as documents. Senate treaty documents contain the text of a treaty as it is submitted to the U.S. Senate for ratification by the President of the United States. The United States has been a party to many treaties throughout its history. Some examples of treaties that have been ratified by the Senate include the Treaty of Alliance with France during the American Revolutionary War in 1778, the Treaty of Amity and Commerce with France in 1778, and the Treaty of Paris in 1783, which ended the American Revolutionary War. The process for ratifying a treaty in the Senate involves several steps. First, the President of the United States negotiates and signs a treaty with another country. The treaty is then sent to the Senate for consideration. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee holds hearings on the treaty and makes a recommendation to the full Senate. The Senate then debates and votes on whether to give its advice and consent to ratification of the treaty. If 2/3 of the senators present concur, the treaty is ratified. The President then ratifies the treaty and exchanges ratification documents with the other country, at which point the treaty enters into force. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee plays an important role in the treaty ratification process. When a treaty is sent to the Senate for consideration, it is referred to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. The committee holds hearings on the treaty, during which it hears testimony from administration officials, outside experts, and other interested parties. After considering the treaty and the testimony presented during the hearings, the committee makes a recommendation to the full Senate on whether to give its advice and consent to ratification of the treaty. The committee may recommend that the Senate give its advice and consent to ratification, or it may recommend against ratification. The committee may also propose amendments or reservations to the treaty. If the Senate Foreign Relations Committee recommends against ratification of a treaty, it can still be brought to the Senate floor for a vote. However, a negative recommendation from the committee can make it more difficult for the treaty to gain the necessary 2/3 majority vote for ratification. Committee prints are publications issued by congressional committees for their own use. They may include research topics of particular interest to members of Congress or relevant to legislation that is being developed. Committee prints can include a wide range of materials, such as draft reports and bills, directories, statistical materials, investigative reports, historical reports, situational studies, confidential staff reports, hearings, and legislative analyses. They are an excellent resource for statistical and historical information, and for legislative analysis. A committee print is a publication issued by a congressional committee for its own use. It may include research topics of particular interest to members of Congress or relevant to legislation that is being developed. Committee prints can include a wide range of materials, such as draft reports and bills, directories, statistical materials, investigative reports, historical reports, situational studies, confidential staff reports, hearings, and legislative analyses. 1. A committee report, on the other hand, is a document that is produced by a congressional committee after it has completed its consideration of a bill or other matter. The report describes the purpose and scope of the measure and the reasons for the committee's recommended approval. The report may also include the text of the bill as reported by the committee, which may be the introduced text or a substitute, any proposed amendments, a bill analysis, and other relevant information. Yes, both committee prints and reports are generally available to the public. Committee reports are usually published and can be found on congress.gov or through the Government Publishing Office's GovInfo website. Committee prints may also be available on these websites or through the individual committee's website. Some libraries and research institutions may also have collections of committee prints and reports available for public use. Congress.gov provides access to a wide range of congressional documents. In addition to committee prints and reports, other types of congressional documents available on Congress.gov include bills and resolutions, the Congressional Record, which contains the official record of the proceedings and debates of Congress, public and private laws, and nominations. You can also find information about congressional committees, members of Congress, and the legislative process on Congress.gov. You can find the voting records of specific members of Congress on a number of websites. One option is to visit the official website of the member of Congress you are interested in and look for a section on their voting record. Another option is to visit the websites of the House of Representatives, clerk.house.gov, and the Senate, senate.gov, and use their roll call vote search functions to find the voting records of individual members. There are also several non-governmental websites that track the voting records of members of Congress, such as govtrack.us and congress.gov.